want you to be safe and sound. We are more excited than you are. But let's hold the breath and the horses.
So I am just going to talk over this because I don't think that YouTube will let me use the music. Okay, first off, do not focus on me. Do not focus on me. Focus on this lovely couple out in the front because from what I hear, they practiced a lot. They actually took this dance seriously. Whereas, somehow I got it into my head that I could just practice this while I was at the airport, the few hours that I was at the airport, and everything was going to be fine. And don't look at me. This is horrible and it's such an embarrassment. I thought that it had died back in India and that I would never see it again. And then now I've had to see this clip like over and over again and it's awful. Yeah. So I did not know that we were going to be on a stage as big. I mean, yeah. No, people did great. It was lovely. This was horrifying. Oh, God, it's awful. It's awful.
This was great. Insane and lit all the way. What an amazing performance it was.
Good morning. I'd say that the wedding ended at about midnight. And then there was an after party that people went to. And I'm 100% sure that many of them came back at like 4 because I heard it.
Okay. All right. Good morning. So this morning's event is Haldi. So we have our yellow dress on. Haldi, Hindi word for turmeric. So I believe the bride and groom are supposed to rub turmeric paste. Well, everybody's supposed to wear yellow. It's supposed to be, joyous yellow color. They're supposed to rub turmeric paste on one another, and that paste is supposed to help protect and ward off against evil or something like that. So it's a festive celebration. A very misty morning in the Jaipur resort today. I'll show you. Yeah. Just like eyeing those baskets, they're really pretty. Some purple-esque flamingos, which work really well for this yellow. Hey. I would say, from what I'm seeing, mainly kind of like the older family members here that did not go to the after party. This morning, you know how they do like early morning calls for people who haven't woken up yet. And I got one of those for breakfast, which was 2 hours before this. And I was like, what is going on? There's no way that anybody woke up for it. But like you heard my phone ring, you heard the next phone ring, you heard the next phone ring. Because you can, the walls are kind of thin, so it was really funny. But yeah, I don't really see many younger people here. Okay, this is probably the portion of the meal that I can eat, so we'll go and get some fruit afterwards. Yes, some like sweets as well. Yeah, that we see all the time in white travel, don't we? It's great. Some other sandwiches. The only thing that I know, so I'm like, that's gonna be good. So this was just something, one of the fried cakes they put some dal on and then some veggies on top, but yeah. And Tony, we were just talking with the bride because we're like, oh, we like never know which things are vegan. And the first day she was like, oh, you should talk to my cousin. But actually, she was like, oh, you should ask the wedding planners that are around, and there's a ton of them in red. But yeah, no. This apple, super sweet, but it is the grainiest apple I've ever had. Like, it literally, I can squish it with my tongue and then it becomes like mashed potato. It is, yeah, probably a super ripe apple. Persimmons. You know what I want to do? Wait, this way. I want to take a picture in that yellow tent. I think those are those Instagrammable moments. I just got some because people are coming around with different juices, and I'm like, oh, I can usually have juice. And they're like, oh, orange juice. It's so cute because I always mix a little bit of black salt into the orange juice, which we're so not used to, right? We always cook with black salt for, like, you know, vegan eggs or something savory. But here, they just mix that in with, like, fruits, fruit juice, mocktails, black salt. Yeah, it's not bad. It's strange, but it's pretty good. I'll take them too. Thank you. So they said that this was supposed to be vegan. It's like the come on. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Looks super moist. I'm definitely gonna make this at home. I think it's soaked in some sauce though. We'll give it a try. It's salty. I thought it was gonna be sweet. Slightly greasy. Yeah, I don't actually know what it's soaked in, but it's kind of salty. Interesting. But the texture is super light, super soft. So if this is an egg-free thing, you could definitely sub this for sponge cake. Like, this would be it. I actually think I have a box of the mix at home, and I just never made it yet. Yeah, weird. It's a little bit greasy, actually. So people tell me, so that's like the chaat masala. So there's black salt and just mixed spices in it. I'll figure it out at home. But I saw them, you know, use this for like mango dips. We have some papaya. It might get a little bit savory after a bit. So yeah, just do that. That's nice. It's just different because we don't normally put salt in things. Okay, it is time for the Feris, which is supposed to be, the brief that I got was to wear something kind of romantic. I was thinking like pink or green, but I ended up getting this number. I don't necessarily think that they match, but oh well, here we are. I got these, remember, in Whitechapel, I think, or Bethnal Green actually. They are really heavy. They are as heavy as it looks. So my earlobes will die afterwards, but I think it's okay. It's like a little bit midriffy, whatever. Yeah. This is probably the outfit that I feel like least comfortable in. I thought that these would work better, but clearly this is really bright, this is really not. But if I don't wear it, I mean, I brought it. I feel like I should wear it. Yeah. Okay. You're not going to be able to hear me with the music, but I will tell you about a little bit more about the Feris. It's more of like a sacramental type ceremony, so it's also the ceremony of vows, and they make 7 vows to one another, not all of which I remember, but I think the first one is vow to maybe take care of each other in terms of like health, and then the second one is like mind and body. Eventually there's like friendship, there's having children. It's such long fabric. There's a couple of different Feroses. We just saw one of them with the groom, and then apparently what's supposed to happen is the groom is now going to be on horseback. We're bringing a horse into the resort. And that is how he's supposed to pick up the bride. I guess like maybe traditionally he goes to the bride's village on horseback. I know, this is one of those weddings. Yeah.
He is in his horse, and then I think he's just gonna come up. Alright. An albino horse.
So, according to the stories, the groom is supposed to come in on a white horse, and I just learned that in order to be a white horse, it needs to be an albino horse, which we have here. Both groom and horse probably didn't want to be there. In something that I thought was going to take about a half an hour, took about 2 hours.
Fireworks just happened. Did not know it was going to. They are placing a wreath on one another. Holy crushes.
Yeah, so I came back a little bit early from the Feris to prepare for the next event. They're running a little bit late. It was very, very long, and I didn't know that it was going to be so walk heavy, so I was in my heels. We were walking, it was kind of misty, and then, anyways, I'm slightly guilty because I watched this, everything I think was just in Hindi, and I was not sure what was going on, but I stayed there for a fair bit of time, and then afterwards I got cold, and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna go back first. I hope that did not seem rude. I stayed a while.
I guess, like, how am I feeling about India so far? Well, I've been really tired. Like, I got in late yesterday. No, late yesterday, the day before yesterday. And then I ended 3 flights with a 4.5 hour car ride to Jaipur, which was a lot. Yeah, India, it's obviously it's a big manufacturing place. Obviously it's a big, tech hub as well, but there were a lot of trucks. Like, you saw a lot of trucks on the road because everybody was, trying to get products or something to other places or to shipping containers and to ship them away, and just the parts of India that I've seen. I mean, here is a resort, so it's like 3.5 hours outside of Jaipur, which is not even a main city. It's nothing like Delhi, right? But even so, it reminds me of places that I've visited before, but obviously India is very busy. There's not a lot, it's not always that people are well off. I don't want to be annoying and be one of those people that are so much history here, so exciting, there's so much color. Yes, there is all of that, that's so neat, the spices, the foods, amazing. But it would be a lie to say how much not so great economic conditions I see here. I've seen people crammed into cars, probably going off to work in factories. And again, this is not even Jaipur isn't even supposed to be like a very big city where all of the hustle and bustle is at. But yeah, I don't know how to put it, because I don't want to describe something through Western eyes, because I'm used to living a certain way, because I totally could understand someone who lives in El Salvador, a different kind of house, and them being I find it really funny that you guys live in, concrete homes, or where you air condition your homes and everything is just kind of sectioned off from nature. I understand that there are different ways of living, and that I actually think that we in the West are quite wasteful, and quite we can be quite different as well. But I can't help but think that the smog and the smoke and the fire, which caused the whole region to be all smoky and foggy, I couldn't even walk without putting on a mask because I couldn't breathe. In addition to the cars, in addition, to the smoke. And I can't, and then I see, kind of rubble and homes that, seem to be really hard to live in and stuff. I can't help but think that I, or we who live elsewhere, contribute to this. We contribute to the poverty, we contribute to somebody else having to walk to work every day in smoke. When we buy fast fashion, when we buy cheap stuff, when we go to a bargain store and the things are from India, they're from Bangladesh, and we're oh, really good deal. When we go on to Amazon, when we go and buy our electronics and we want cheap electronics, that kind of thinking and that kind of lifestyle very much contributes to this. But because we live in first world industrialized Western countries, we literally are removed from the actions that we do that cause repercussions for other people. Yeah, I don't know if that probably makes sense. We do stuff, or the UK will ship their trash over to other Eastern European countries so that we don't have to deal with the trash, so that we don't have to deal with the smog, so that we don't have to deal with the pollution. It's just really weird because we remove ourselves from the things that we cause. And I kind of feel coming to India, I see a lot of the things that we cause that we are removed from. We kind of live in a place where we drive green cars, we worry about the air and how clean it is. We don't see what we're doing and the decisions that cause people to live not well. And I kind of see that here.
Okay, so the last one, yay! I think this one's just called the reception. It's typical reception. Formal black tie, ball gown, whatever, party wear. So yeah, we're starting a little bit late. It's 9:30 already. So yeah, no doubt everybody's really tired.
little bit more of like a romantic vibe.
Just ending the day, long talks, but I think mainly it's like a photography opportunity. So yeah, had some bread tonight. That was nice. But I think it's just like families that are taking photos now. So.
It just does what it wants. It like walked across, it scared the pigeons, and it just like came over to have some like leftover fruit.
Yes, join me for the rest of my trip through India. I know y'all are like, well, with that kind of a mood, I don't know if I want to join you. But I promise there will be a lot of sights. I try some of the foods. I try making some of the foods. I don't know. There's a lot. So hope you all enjoyed the wedding. And yeah, if you want to help out the channel, visit the Patreon page. I will put all of the information down below. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoy. Goodbye.